Let's talk about the convention. I want to start with something Larry Kudlow said last night. Let's watch this.
Americans are going back to work. There's a housing boom, there's an auto boom, a manufacturing boom, a consumer spending boom. Stocks are in record territory.
A boom while we've got 30 million people out of work, 80,000 small businesses have shut down. Would you characterize any of what we're seeing as a boom or a selective recovery?
Well, what I would say is we went from, as Federal Reserve Chairman, by the way, good morning, Stephanie. It's good to see you. Federal Reserve Chairman Powell made the case. We went from the strongest economy in 90 years to the worst economy in weeks. This has been unprecedented. And yes, the recovery, adding back 9 million more jobs, has been very impressive, no doubt about it. But Larry Kudlow and the president will tell you that our work's not done. You know, we believe we need another round of PPP for our small businesses. We need more incentives to help the industries that aren't going to recover quickly. They're going to need help rehiring and keeping workers on the payroll as well. And I think we need a redesign of unemployment so we can help reconnect workers. We just want to make sure that those who are temporarily unemployed aren't permanently unemployed. And I think that's the key message here.
Do you think that you Republicans and Democrats can actually work towards the next stimulus bill? Because everything you just laid out, we certainly need it. Yet the way Larry Kudlow framed things last night, he's talking about COVID like it's a thing of the past.
No, I don't think Stephanie, I don't think he was. I talked with Larry Kudlow a great deal about what this economy needs to recover. And to your question, I sure hope so. You know, I was really disappointed that our small businesses, our unemployed workers were just ignored for Congress to rush back for a fake post office crisis that didn't exist. Meanwhile, look, I will tell you, our small businesses.
Hold on, excuse me, Congressman.
They need help in a major way, and they're just being ignored.
Sir, a fake postal crisis? We see images.
Absolutely.
From postal facilities in the state of Texas that are in crisis. Would you say it's made up to veterans who aren't getting their prescriptions on time? You think it's made up?
I do. Absolutely. As far as the post office is working, as they've made it clear, they can easily handle the mail-in balloting process. They have $14 billion in the bank, are solvent through next year. They are going through a bipartisan reorganization that, by the way, has some glitches and needs to be addressed. But yeah, I find it offensive that our small businesses and our unemployed workers have been ignored by Speaker Pelosi while we're rushing back to Washington for the post office. I'll just tell you, I think real people
hold on a second,
need real
sir.
help now.
Speaker
and
Pelosi.
I would urge the Speaker to sit down with Secretary Mnuchin, Leader McConnell, the President. Let's find some common ground here.
Well, wouldn't you say she did that, 6 weeks ago with the HEROES Act, which provided way more support for small businesses, and it was Republicans who wouldn't sign off on that, sir?
She didn't sit down with anyone. That was a $3.5 trillion giveaway that did nothing to get people back to work. And Leader McConnell and the president have developed their alternatives that I think are far smarter, although I think we need to do more to make sure America is medically independent from China, that there's more growth. But the bottom line is both parties have their idea, but the Speaker so far is not sitting down to negotiate. And you may be far apart at this point. That's fine. But our folks need help. I think Republican, Democrat, Independent, doesn't matter. We're not out of this pandemic yet from a health standpoint or an economic standpoint.
I just want to be sure I have this right. So the data that shows the dip in postal deliveries, that's fake data? That's what you're saying to me?
No, there has been both upturns and downturns temporarily, but that wasn't what that vote was all about.
What are the upturns?
You should have heard. Well,
what are the upturns?
You must not have been listening to Speaker Pelosi and House Democrats, but all they said was the president was sabotaging these elections. It had nothing to do with Postal Service, they were saying that the president, by the way, who doesn't even appoint this Postmaster General, he was appointed unanimously by a bipartisan group, is capable of handling elections, made sure to say that delivering the mail in ballots would be the highest priority of this Postal Service. That was just a whole political gambit. Meanwhile, our Main Street businesses are going out of business at a record pace. And I think that's where our focus needs to be.
You said just a second ago there's been an upturn and a downturn in deliveries. What's the upturn you're talking about?
Yeah, so depending on what region you are, you will see better mail service. In others where there's been less growth, you have seen a dip in service. The Postmaster General acknowledged that. So did the board. But part of the biggest challenge for the post office long term is that their deliveries are down by 1/3. They have huge legacy costs. They, like any business, if they're going to survive and do their job for the American people, there's going to have to be some changes. And he was very straight up about using those types of reorganization, which was by the independent board unanimously agreed to. So making politics, I think creating politics out of the post office when so many Americans are hurting, I mean really hurting, I just think that's the wrong approach.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.